Hey guys, it's the Brookster here, and I'm back again for another custom build. And today I have this Lego house that I built not too long ago. And this is actually my second iteration of this house, because my first one, I didn't exactly have enough tan bricks to fully complete it, so this entire side was gray, and plus the entire interior of that one was different. So I ended up breaking that one down, buying a lot more tan bricks, and rebuilding this, and also redesigning the interior a little bit. And this whole build actually sits on a large base plate, with 3 of those little smaller base plates for the front lawn. And as you can see, the front lawn kind of overhangs off of my desk a little bit. So, yeah. Anyway, let's just get into it. So first, I figure we might as well just talk about the front lawn. So the front lawn is mainly made up of a lot of the bright green plates. For, the grass, there is a little fence right here with the mailbox, and some concrete leading up to the front door with a little doormat, and of course, the entire driveway. And the backyard isn't really much different. It is pretty plain, besides a little toy box right there. And now for the exterior. So as you can see, the house is entirely tan, with a nice brown trim, which I think looks decent. Of course, there are obviously some windows and a nice green front door. To the side of the front door, there is of course the garage, with 3 of the little windows on top, and it of course can open up, which I will show you later. All of the other sides of the house aren't much different, just some windows. Here's the back, of course, with the back door. And here's this side with a little trash can right there. You probably noticed the nice dark gray roof, which I think looks decent. It's not really too complicated, it's just a bunch of plates at a slight angle. And as you might have noticed, this side kind of overlays a little bit on that side, just so that the top looks good. Anyway, let's get on to the interior. As you walk into the house, right there is the door to the garage. The living room right here, of course with a couch, a coffee table, and, shocker, a TV. Right there are the stairs to the second floor. And in front of them, there is this thing with a little fish tank at the top. And in the drawers, there are some scissors and some junk mail. Right there's a nice window with a clock on the wall and a nice coat hanger using minifigure hands in reddish brown. Over here is the dining room with a table, chairs, a little opening into the kitchen, and another little picture. Right there's the doorway into the kitchen. And in the kitchen, there is of course the fridge with some food in it. Right next to it, there's the pantry, also with some food in it and some cereal on top. Right there's a pretty big window, of course, with the oven, the microwave, and over here, there is the sink, even with the dishwasher right next to it. And of course, there are a lot of cupboards and drawers, which all have stuff in them, which I think is pretty cool. Of course, there's a lot of stuff on the counters, with a cutting board, coffee maker, some random bottles and stuff, and also a little melon. Right there's another doorway, which leads into a little office space. And of course, there's a lot of stuff on the desk, including a computer, lamps, and papers, and other stuff. As you probably noticed, right here is the bathroom, with a toilet, some toilet paper, a little trash can, and the sink with a mirror. There's a picture on the wall, and a nice chalkboard behind the desk. And also, if you take the tile off of the toilets, well, there's that. And right here is the garage. And when you take the car out, there really isn't too much going on in the garage. There is just a little workstation going on in the back, with some open cardboard boxes, and some other junk. And right there's the washer and dryer, and a little rat. Of course you can open up the garage door, however, it opens up like this, which obviously isn't how garage doors are supposed to open. It's just I couldn't figure out a good way to have the garage door open properly. And yes, I know that there are official garage door pieces, however, those are just way too small for this. And the garage door is actually pretty interesting, because it is 2 halves facing opposite directions that are connected in the middle right there. However, the connection is quite weak, because it is supposed to have 4 of these pieces, however, I can only find 1, so I had to improvise. And I mean, it does work, however, it can break quite a bit when closing it. Now for the second floor. And to access the second floor, it's pretty simple. You just take off all of the roofs, just like that. So yeah, all of the roof panels just come off like that. And obviously, when I showed you the bottom floor, this whole section can come off. And the stairs are, of course, right there, with some railings, a picture on the wall, another little clock, And right behind the stairs, there's a little linen closet. With some random printed tiles in there, it is a little bit hard to see and access. On this wall, there's another picture with the 2 doors leading to the 2 bedrooms. As you go down the hall, there is the bathroom right there and the master bedroom right here. First, let's talk about the boys' room. Right there is the dresser with a little mug, a statue, and also a Lego set on top. And all the drawers are empty except one with a sock in it. And right there's also a mini AT-AT, which I think looks pretty good. On the desk, there's another Lego set and a little controller. And above the desk, there's of course the shelf with a boombox and an Alex figure and also a little alien. There's also a pretty cool pirate picture right there. On this side, there's of course the bed with a poster above it and a little TV right there, which can swivel a bit, and also a little toy box right there. And underneath the bed, he has a hidden pack of cookies. The girls' room has a little desk right there with a computer, a controller, a mug, and some stuff on the shelf above. There's a little picture right above of her bed, and her bed's right there with a little nightstand and some plushies. And on her wall, there is some stuff, including a mirror. Like the boys' room, there's also a TV right there, and her dresser with her phone and some other stuff on top. And as you can see, she is currently painting. Right here is the upstairs bathroom, of course, with the bathtub right here, and there's also a little rubber ducky inside, and there's of course the shower head. Unsurprisingly, there is the toilet right there, and the sink, with the mirror, and also another little picture on the wall. At the end of the hallway, there's a pretty nice picture on the wall, and a door on that side. So the door leads into this little area, which has the closet right there, with some shirts, a little safe, and a briefcase. And if you're curious, the safe has a ring, a revolver, and some money in it. However, it is just way too difficult to get out. Right over here, there is their bathroom, with the shower, and yet again, a toilet and a sink. And right there's also a mirror, however, that one actually works. And then there's another little doorway, which leads into the main area. Of course, with a bed and a dresser with a TV mounted on the wall. And there's just a bunch of random junk on the dresser, like a ring, a postcard, mug, and potted plant. There's also a little picture on the wall, and right behind the bed, there's a window. And of course, this bed can fit 2 figures. On the sides of the bed, there are of course the nightstands, and in front of it is even a little chest. And when you open it, there is a camera, a tape, and a compass. And as you might have noticed, the closet is pretty small, especially for a master bedroom. And that's just because there really wasn't a good spot to put a larger closet. I guess I could maybe extend this wall by maybe 4 studs and put a closet right there. But I don't know. I feel like this works pretty well. And I mean, what else could I possibly put there? You might have also noticed with these rooms, there aren't even closets at all. And that's because there really wasn't a good spot for me to put a closet without taking up too much space. And plus, some rooms just don't have closets. I mean, what do you think? I think that this thing is pretty cool. I mean, it's really not a super complicated design. It is really just a bunch of normal bricks. But I think that it is pretty cool.